our YouTube channel again. So today we're gonna be doing some colorful nails because I told you last time that we're gonna, you know, do a little bit more brighter stuff this time for the summer, and it is still Pride month. So we're gonna be doing some colorful glitters. It's beautiful. It's the OMG collection that we're about to launch. So make sure you guys follow us for the launch date, and we're gonna be doing some beautiful flames, super trendy and super easy. Anyways, check it out, guys. Hey guys, we're gonna start out with the M20. This is a velvet teddy nude, and we're gonna place it close to the cuticle but not too close, and we're gonna work it into the cuticles first. And make sure you guys wet your brush with monomer before you guys push it into the cuticles, so the powder can kind of bleed into the cuticles nice and thin. And then we're gonna pull the product down towards the tip of the nail, and we're gonna use an X-Acto knife to make our cut today. So make sure you guys wait for the powder to dry a little bit before you guys make the cut. If the powder is too wet and you make the cut, what happened is the powder will end up sticking to the knife, making it very uneven line. So make sure it's kind of matte like this. You can see how it's matte a little bit. And we're gonna use an X-Acto knife, dip it in a tiny bit of monomer, just so when you make the cut, the acrylic won't stick to the knife. So I dipped it in a little monomer and make a very slow, and don't apply too much pressure because the knife will cut through the acrylic very easily. So very lightly cut it, and then gently kind of scrape it off the nail bed like this, very gently. Okay, the knife is really sharp, so if you guys are really scared to use the knife, I would dull out the tip of the knife a little bit by using my hand file to go in and file the tip of the blade. As you can see, the tip of my blade is not that pointy, so I don't end up poking any of my clients. Again, same goes with this one. And if we are making the cuts that's not super straight, don't worry about it, guys. We're gonna go in and hand file it later. Okay, so I'm just gonna work into the cuticle first, make sure that's nice and clean, and then pull it down, and then there you go, and then drag it down. And then now we're gonna wait for it to dry just a little bit. So in the meantime of waiting, I like to kind of shape the use the brush just to kind of, you know, shape the nail. And you can see how the acrylic still looks really shiny, and I'm waiting, you see, kind of matte. And then now we're gonna make the cut. If it's matte, just turn matte right away. I would make the cut right away, and that is the perfect time. And you can see how clean the cut is. And when you dip the X-Acto knife in monomer, it will help the acrylic from sticking to the knife. It's kind of like cooking, right? If you put some oil on top well, I guess I don't cook that much, but you know, when you put a little bit of oil on any kind of surface, it won't stick to it. It's the same way with the acrylic and the X-Acto knife, same thing. All right, so now we're just gonna work it into the cuticles again, and then work it into the cuticles. And I thought I'm gonna have my new hands come in, but it takes 2 weeks for them to process and send it over. So I still have my old hand, and I think I'm just gonna use my new hand to take pictures because I end up ruining it a lot. Oh, and what I'm doing right now is I'm gonna make a V cut. So I'm gonna make a dot right in the center, and then because you know sometimes you end up not making the V cut straight. So I put the dot in the center just for my guideline, so that I know when I make the cut with the X-Acto knife, I bring it into the center where the when I dot it, you know, right in the center at. So again, I'll make the cut and then bring the knife right in the center, just so it'll be even on both sides. And you can see how clean that cut is. There you go. So I've cut with like dental floss, I've cut with like credit card, I've cut acrylic, of course. I've cut acrylic with you know, credit card, dental floss, and what else? I think that's about it. But the X-Acto knife is the best for cutting acrylic. So that's what I like to use the most. And as you can see, once it's dry, if it's not straight, just go in with your hand file and then straighten it out just like this. And just straighten it out. And then I'm going to straighten that part out also. Did you know it's actually, I feel like it's actually harder to do acrylic on a fake hand than it is on a real hand. I don't know why. But this is our new OMG glitter collection that we're about to launch really soon. So I'm just going to use it for you guys to see on this look. Not only this glitter, it's just not glitter itself. We actually have color, like just a slight color in the glitter. So it is a different look. It's very beautiful. Look at this blue. And what I'm doing right now is I'm creating again another rainbow look with the glitter. And what's good about using this glitter is they blend into each other really well. As you know, two different colors, look how well they blend into each other. Always stick like the pink and the purple next to each other, the blue and purple next to each other, pink and then purple and then pink and then to green and then green to yellow. I think that's how I usually create my rainbow look. So, and now I'm going with the pink, right? So it's blue, purple, pink, and then we're gonna go with like a lime green and then like a yellow. But look how beautiful this glitter is. And you guys probably see me using it a lot lately, and I can't wait for you guys to get your hand on these glitters, and I can't wait to be able to actually do a whole full like a whole swatch, like a full swatch of them, so you guys can actually see how they all looks like. And I absolutely love it. And I actually have to stop myself from using it too much on all my nails because I don't want to become too repetitive, you know. And again, with this side, I'm only going to use my brush to kind of straighten the line. And again, use this. I'm not using an X-Acto knife. Oh, and another thing is, I don't use an X-Acto knife when I'm doing chunky glitter, because the cut will almost never will be straight, because when you cut down on the acrylic and you cut onto a chunky piece of glitter, it won't cut through, but it will actually drag the glitter down, so causing the line to be not straight at all. Like it will be like a missing chunk of acrylic. So never cut chunky glitters. Okay, rule of cutting is never cut chunky glitters. Like how these glitter have bigger chunks in them, never use an X-Acto knife to cut them, because the line will end up like really crooked. So I only use the X-Acto knife to cut like a finer glitter or like a solid color acrylic, but never chunky glitter. Okay guys, never chunky glitters. So this is chunky, so I'm not going to use a knife on it, and I'm just going to use my brush to kind of clean it up, because I am going to do I'm going to cover this part, the end part, with some nude acrylic and a flame design. So I don't need to make it extra super straight and then to go in and then cover it up again with my flame design, right? That would just be wasting time. So I'm just going to use the tip of my brush to kind of clean it off like that, and then use the body of my brush to press it up against you know, the cuticles, towards the cuticle. And now that's good. I'm going to go in and apply our glitters on this side. Look how easy it is with this set. Is actually kind of easy. Okay, look how beautiful this blue is. And the rule of making rainbow color, well, there is actually no rules. You can do whatever way you want, but I think it looks best when you use blue and then purple, and then you're gonna go in your pink, and then once that's done, you're gonna go in the orange, and then the orange we're gonna go with like a yellow or a lime green, and we just work it all the way up, back up again. You see that? Yellow. And I'm not making the glitter super thick either, because we're going to encapsulate it with crystal clear powder. Okay guys, and with this glitter I always encourage people to encapsulate it, because if you don't, I mean, you don't have to, but when you go to file, sometimes it will file off the color and expose some like silver glitter. So it still looks good. It's a different look, I guess, but I like it better when the way it looks better when we encapsulate it with clear powder. powder. And again, look how beautiful this is. And I mean, like I said, you can do it any way you want, but I like the way this looks. So, and I just love how these glitter just like blend into each other so effortlessly. And then again, go back with the same nude, and I'm gonna push it on both sides like that. Push it against the glitter. Make it as straight as you can, but it doesn't have to be super straight, like, you know, when you were cutting them. So I'm just gonna apply it on nice. Doesn't have to be too thick because we're gonna encapsulate it with the clear as well, because I'm encapsulating the glitter. So I'm just gonna encapsulate the nude as well. So I'm just gonna press it in and kind of shape the nails. And guys, I am still using the Notpolish XXL C curve tips. Okay, this is my new favorite tips, because you guys remember for like these C curves nails, we used to have to use forms. I mean, I like doing forms, but that stuff takes a really long time. So I'm so glad that now we have the C curve tips, kind of like cheating your way to a faster C curve. But hey, as we evolve in the nail industry, we like to create things to make life easier, not harder. But I mean, I still love using forms as well, though. I just don't do it a lot because it just takes a lot of time for me. I'm a lot slower at it. And again, now we're gonna go in with crystal clear powder to encapsulate the nail. It doesn't have to be the whole nail, just right there is good. And I'm gonna drag it off. And it has been we've been getting a heat wave here in California, so my powder it dries a little bit faster. So I'm gonna pick up a little bit more monomer in my brush and just kind of let it run, because when you encapsulate crystal clear powder, we want it a little bit runnier than it is dry, because we don't want the air bubbles. Oh, and question of the day today: are you guys going to the nail convention this year? The maybe probably not Cosmoprof, because I think it's for more like distributors, but Orlando Premiere. Who is going to Orlando Premiere this year? I'm actually so excited because we haven't gone to any nail show in the last 2 years. I think 2 years since pandemic, and I can't wait to meet you guys at the show and do like live demonstrations and just to get to see people and get to meet new people, you know. And again, I'm just encapsulating things up in clear, super easy, right? So just encapsulate in clear powder. So if you are going, make sure you leave a comment down below. And if you guys are going and you see us at the premiere show, make sure you guys come up and say hi. I know it's kind of far out. I think it's like the end of October, but I'm really excited about that show. I think I'm more excited about that show than our Vegas show, because Cosmoprof, it's fun for like distributors and stuff, but it's not really fun like live, like the Orlando premiere. Like Cosmoprof is like more like too professional, too laid back. Like you can't be too loud, it's not as fun as the Orlando premiere, and I just can't wait to go back, guys. Oh yeah, can you tell I'm super excited? So almost done. We're gonna encapsulate this one in clear again, and I have so many questions for you guys, but I think I'm gonna stick with this one where I'm like, I don't know, sometimes I get what I call it, you know how people say the writer's block, but I think I'm having creativity block, where I couldn't come up with any design. And how do you guys snap out of it? Like I get like in a what do you call it, like I'm in like a space where I'm like I can't come up with anything, and I don't know how to snap out of it. And I've been feeling like that for the last couple days, so I feel kind of down, guys. Again, now this is dry. I'm using the 5-in-1 cross bit from Notpolish, and I'm just gonna pre-shape the nails. And you guys know me, I like to pre-shape the nails first before like all the nails, and then I'm gonna go in and smooth out the top of the nails just like this. And if you guys are new to using a drill bit, a Dremel to shape the nails, just go very slowly. You know, everything takes practice, so you'll get there. I mean, I don't know what's the timeline is, but just go slowly and very gently, and you get there. And you guys can see, make sure you guys stabilize your hand, okay? My pinky always, you see that? I always place my pinky right there. Right there, you see that pinky? I'm gonna place it right against the other hand, just so I can stabilize myself. So from painting, from using the Dremel on top of the client's fingernails, I always stabilize my nails. For all the new nail techs out there, make sure you stabilize your hands. Oh no, I say nails. Make sure you stabilize your hands, like, because when you paint and stuff, you don't stabilize like that. Your hands start getting really shaky. So make sure you stabilize it, okay? And I'm just going to smooth out the top again, just like this. And once that is done, I'm going to use the Notpolish hand file to go in and shape the nails. Make sure the nail is straight from all the way from the top, about 90% all the way from the top of the nail all the way to the tip of the nails, right? The top, the cuticle to the top. And again, make sure you use the Dremel and go in, and you see how how you can see it looks a little bit kind of thick, because we want it a tiny bit thicker so it doesn't break. But I'm gonna go in and just kind of use my Dremel and like drill out just a thin piece of acrylic on the bottom to create more of a thinner illusion, right? Okay, now we're gonna go in with a white gel. So I've shown you guys our Notpolish gel art, and make sure with the Notpolish gel art, you guys don't pick up too much of the gel, because it is very pigmented, and we want to make it for nail art. I like when the polish is actually more pigmented, a little bit thicker, because with gel art I really don't want to put like more than 2 layers, or like I have to go back and color it again because it's not dark enough or not bright enough. So I just like one coat. So that's why we kind of make it a little bit more on the thicker side and more pigmented, so it only requires one coat when you paint, so that way it doesn't end up looking too thick or lumpy. Yeah. And you know, I love doing flame designs super quick like this. And then remember I told you guys you don't have to worry about making the acrylic super straight earlier with next to the glitter, because look what we're doing, we end up drawing a line across with a design. So earlier, if you spend a lot of time trying to make the glitter part and the other, what the hell am I saying? If you know, you can understand. I don't even know what the hell I'm saying. But I didn't spend a lot of time on making the acrylic super straight earlier with the glitter, because like I said, I'm gonna do a design on top of it, and I end up drawing like a straight line across the nail just like that. So I was just making my life a lot easier by just applying it on and make it as straight as I can. And then now I'm just gonna go in and paint a design on top of it. Yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm rambling on about, but now again, do another flame. I always start draw my flame by drawing the center of the flame first, like this piece. So make sure it's center, and then I work my way out to the smaller flames on the side. So I figured that it's a lot easier to do it that way, to make it straight, because you know sometimes the flames end up looking crooked. So doing it this way, I can kind of align my flame more straighter. And as you can see, I kind of flip the fake hand around, because obviously it's probably easier. So when you are working on your client's nails, you can actually, like, you know, flip their hand back, so it'll be easier for you guys to draw the flame as well. Okay, now we're just gonna color in, and once this is done, we're gonna cure it under the light for 30 seconds. Okay, make sure you cure it under the gel light for 30 seconds. don't under cure it, because once you under cure it, the gel will get like wrinkly or still wet, and so when you go to rub on the pigment, it will look really weird. Okay, so I'm just gonna draw on this part. You don't have to add this little piece. I don't know why I'm adding it, but just for the sake of it, I'll just add a little piece of it. It looks kind of cool. Okay, now once it's cured, we're gonna use the Notpolish pigment, and you guys can see how easy it is to create an ombre look with this pigment. So I love working with pigment, so make sure you check out the pigment from Notpolish. Oops, I think I overlapped the neon yellow too much with that orange. That's okay, it will still look good. We're moving on to the next color. Look at, and these tiny jars of pigment will last you guys a very long time. So you only need a tiny bit, okay, a tiny bit. You don't need a lot, just a little bit like this. Make sure you clean your brush well in between colors. You don't want to contaminate the colors and then you end up with like a very weird color. So make sure you clean your brush really well, and don't clean it, don't wet it, okay? Don't wet it. Don't use a wet naps or anything like that to clean your brush. Just kind of brush it like brush it on top of like a piece of Bounty towel, napkins. Make sure it's dry, because when it's wet, it's easier to contaminate color. So always dust it off on a clean towel, dry towel. Okay, and now it's done. We're gonna go in with the matte top coat, and make sure when you guys put on the matte top coat, do not apply any pressure. Just lightly swipe it on top of the pigment, because if you apply pressure, what you end up doing is dragging off the pigment. Okay, let me show you guys. Apply a little bit more pressure. You see how I'm dragging it off like that? You see that? You see, you don't want to apply too much pressure, because you end up dragging the color off the pigment. So make sure very lightly, okay? And now I'm gonna go in with a matte top coat again on the other nails. Okay, matte top coat. Oops, I didn't see I have a little bit of the white polish showing because I didn't dust the pigment on top of it. That's fine, we can go in and fix that later. And then I'm just doing the matte first. So I like to do the matte first, right? Matte. Wherever I'm doing the matte finish, I'm gonna go in and matte it first, just like that. Matte it first and then cure it under the light. Well, of course, we always have to clean the edges just so we can keep the shape of the nails more sharp. Cure it under the light, and then now I'm gonna go in with the Glossit top coat from Notpolish as well. Look how beautiful this Glossit can give this glitter. I mean, you can keep the glitter matte as well, but I like to incorporate the matte and the gloss together. It gives us a little bit of another dimension design. Look how beautiful this is. You can use this glitter to create so many different looks. And again, clean the edges. Now I'm gonna go in and swipe it sideways like that. There you go. Look how beautiful that looks. You see, when you cut the acrylic and then you keep the clear in the center, it gives it an illusion of the nail kind of being like indented in right there in the center, which it looks kind of cool. I like that looks. But what I like to do is I also like to add the rhinestone on top of it. Okay, so I'm just gonna do clean top coat. Look how beautiful this glitter is. Look at the pop-up from this glitter. Look how beautiful this is. And then make sure we clean the edges, and then clean the edges just to keep the shape of the nail. And then now cure it under the light for 30 seconds. And then once that is cured, we're going to use the Notpolish Bling It On kit with the rhinestone gel. And again, make sure if the the rhinestone is big, use a bigger drop of the rhinestone gel. If the bead is small, if the rhinestone is smaller, use a smaller drop of the rhinestone gel. But look how beautiful these rhinestones are, how blinging they are. Look at that shine on that rhinestone. So I'm not gonna deck out a lot of rhinestone because I just want to show you guys like a little bit of, you know, how to apply it on, because, you know, guess what, after this video I'm gonna end up taking these nails and tossing them in the trash. Do you guys store your practice nails? Because sometimes I feel like it's so pretty for me to toss it out, but look at how beautiful this finished look is. And now guess what, I have to toss it out because I don't know how am I gonna store this. Anyways, I'll see you guys on my next video.